like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 love.
Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for Love After Lockup. This is season 1, episode 7. This is the season finale. I really wish this show stayed on for longer than 7 episodes. I do feel like this show could have had a good 12 episodes and not been too long, but would have been just long enough to kind of not rush everything within the time frame. It is currently like 2:45 in the morning, so technically it's Saturday. Y'all will get this later on Saturday. So everyone had a great Friday. It's gonna have a great weekend. I have so much stuff to do this weekend, but you know, you gotta be blessed to be busy. So let's start with Scott and Lizzie. Now, Scott old ass, he's not even that old either. Scott is like in his 50s, I think. Lizzie's in her 40s, and she got caught with like heroin, meth, and crack, all this stuff, and then cell phone. So he said how he was getting her cell phone. He went and got her the lawyer, and the lawyer said, she'll be looking at about 8 to 12 more years. So he is not getting a phone call from Lizzie, and he had to tell her that that's what she could be looking at. So, he told her, you could be facing, 8 to 12 years because of the stuff that you did. And she starts boo-hoo fake crying, okay? Them wasn't no real tears. Not at all. I'm like, he don't realize that she faking it. Like, he don't hear it in the voice that she faking it. She was not crying. It was not at all real tears. It was a bunch of a bunch of fakery and bullshit in the mix of it, and he just didn't get it. So he feeling all the emotions. So, well, don't cry, because if you cry, I'ma cry, and I don't want you hearing me break down. It's hard for me to hear you break down. And I'm like, you is really her trick. Like, she out here doing all kind of magic tricks, and she's in prison. So, and I feel like, Scott looks dirty. Like, he like that dirt. You know how you might live somewhere like in the middle, and it might be a whole bunch of trailers, and then the people in the trailer sometimes always working on cars. So because they always working on cars, they're a little bit dirty all the time, because they always working on cars. He looked like the kind of person who would live somewhere like that, and he always working on cars, so he's always a little dingy. And I'm like, it's just so weird. And I just, he getting emotional, she emotional, he almost crying, and she only crying because she feel like, oh, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just want to cry. I just want you to come hold me and be with me. Can you just tell me it's going to be okay? No, he can't tell it's going to be okay, girl. Lizzie, you can't, girl. She played that role. She made him feel bad for her. She did what she did to make him not want to stop messing with her. And because she kept saying, I just thought you're going to leave me. You're going to wait for me. Would you wait for me? I would have been like, no. We've had our fun. We've had our time. Our time has come to an end. We cannot collect Go Pass Go. We can't collect $200. You can't go to Park Place. You can't go to Baltic Avenue. You can't go to free parking. You can't go nowhere. The game is over. It's completely over. No. But he, being gullible, I'm going to still be here. I'll still be here for you. I'm looking like, why? Wow. In 8 to 12 years, you could fully have 4 more relationships. Okay, you can date 2 people. You can date 4 people for 2 years each, but you gonna wait some time, girl. He is just stupid, and that's basically how it ends. And the funny part was, after he said yes, he gonna wait, he gonna be there for her, she got happy as a clam. Okay, she was happier than the goddamn hooker on tax day with all the goddamn monies, and she got told no more. She was just happy that she would not have to get another trick. Okay, because her main trick then came in. It's a goddamn one-trick pony. And, okay, baby, I love you. Okay. And then she hung up. So that was the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? At the end, they did say that, the girl Lizzie is hoping to be released in late 2018, which means it's still at least a year. And that's only she would get released in 2018 if it's good behavior. If she been there in the damn jail with cell phones and heroin and meth, she ain't gonna get out on good behavior. She couldn't get out on good behavior when she was supposed to be getting out in a couple weeks. Anybody who do something dumb like that when they are supposed to be getting out within a couple weeks, they're not gonna be on their best behavior for another year. Cause if she was smart, she wouldn't have did it in the first goddamn place. But you know what? If they like it, I love it, and it is what it is. And he waiting on her to get out whenever she get out. So boy, bye. Angela and Tony. Angela, look, Angela, who loved to get her love to prisoners. You know what I'm saying? She still waiting on Tony to get out. She still don't know when Tony gonna get out. So she at her house and she counting out her little monthly bills, as we all do. You know, everyone needs to budget, you know, and make sure that all the bills that you have is paid. And so she's counting out her money. You know, this goes to the phone bill. You know, this goes to the water bill. This goes to the whatever bill. This is the light bill. And then this goes to my baby Tony. And she put $200 to the side. Now she sends him $200 per month for whatever he needs. And then she says if he's good or he deserves more, she sends him a little extra. But as she counting out all her bills and putting cash in these envelopes, I'm like, who paid bills in cash? In envelopes. You ain't got no checking account, but whatever, I digress. She then says, and this is what I had left over, and it was $40. $40. Two goddamn 20s. 4 10s. I'm like, $40? You send him 200 and leave yourself a 40? Bitch, what? Like, where they do that at? Why would you even allow that to happen? And she was like, you know, sometimes it makes me mad, but he needs what he needs. I like taking care of him. You is a goddamn real ass cougar. You was a real ass pen pal in these streets. You out here sending that man more money a month than you have to live with. You stupid. You stupid. You know what I'm saying? And then her friend come over, and I wrote down her elderly friend, and they taking pictures on the newest or oldest Polaroid I've ever seen. I don't know if the thing is so old I've never seen it before, or if it's so new I ain't never seen it before. All I know is that's a different kind of Polaroid camera. And you know, they taking pictures in the living room and saying these are the sexiest photos I've ever took for Tony. Ma'am, put that leg down. Ma'am, put your titties up. Ma'am, just stop doing that, ma'am. No, ma'am, don't do it. But people in prison like different things, and I ain't trying to say she looked one way or the other, but I'm like, they weren't even sexy. They weren't. She was literally sitting in her dark ass living room with her leg up on a chair and with some damn cowboy boots on. I was like, she really posing for these damn Polaroid pictures with this lady taking these pictures, but it is what it is. Now her friend, who used to be in prison, says, yeah, when I was in jail, that's what we would do. We would all have tricks. We would have these tricks. No, she didn't say tricks. She said we had these sugar daddies. We would have sugar daddies, and we would use them to get us what we needed while we was in prison. You would have a few of a couple, and then, you know, once you about to get out, you kind of cut them all loose. She then said, but when I got out one time, you know, one of the sugar daddies really came and got me, and I left with him and everything. She's like, in the next morning, I was up and out of there, and I was hitchhiking to get away from him because I didn't really want to be with him. She's like, it's a game that everyone in prison plays. They become a pen pal. They be real nice to you. They make you think that they love you because they want you to give them money. That's the whole reason for it. They want you to feel like that y'all a couple and stuff, and they doing it with other people, and you know, it's just for the money. I be trying to tell people, if you were not with a person before they went to jail, don't try to be with them after the fact. And the people who do can maybe have a happily ever after from it, it's like 1 in a million. Okay, it's not the rule. It ain't even. It's the exception to the rule. And so don't do that shit. Okay, just don't do it. Okay, so and we basically see her saying she wants to be happy with Tony, and that's basically it. You know, they said that, you know, at the end of the day, that she still don't know when Tony getting out, but she wait on him. He gonna live with her. Girl, she wanted to share her love with the prisoner, and it's gonna be Tony. And she, you know, if she would stop sending him $20 a month, she can get her damn teeth fixed. Oh, that's not nice. I'm so sorry, Jesus. Next we see James and Alla. Now, as we know, the last time we saw Alla, her ass, was has a kite, honey, relapsing all on that goddamn bathroom floor. So now he's admitting, yes, she relapsed. That's what was happening. And I'm like, she was in prison for 5 years. She did 5 years in prison. She wasn't even out long. Like, I don't even think it was a month that she was out that she relapsed. I never get when someone is clean for so long, how do they get out and then use? Because I'm like, you've been clean for so long, your body shouldn't crave it. But it is what it is. But I think sometimes if you just rely on old habits, I can see how it happens. But it wouldn't. No, I smoked cigarettes for 10 years, and I quit smoking when I was 27. I've been smoke free for 9 years, and I even hate being around someone who smokes. It makes me gag. Like, I don't get it. So for me, I think it's weird when you are addicted to something, because I was addicted to smoking cigarettes, Newports 100s in a box. Okay. So yeah, I smoked cigarettes or whatever. So it was definitely an addiction. I definitely had a hard time quitting, but I got it done, and I was a total bitch. But yeah, I can get how it's hard to quit something. But I'm like, 5 years clean and you go get high. It's confusing. I wonder what you're getting high in prison, and he just didn't know. So, he then we was pen pal for 15 months, and so for her it was beautiful at first, but now it's a nightmare because she's on them drugs and stuff. So yes, she went to rehab. He won't go over. He was talking to Chris a little bit, just saying how it was hard for him to see what was right in front of his face. Like when Chris said, like, I told you, man, when you came over and I said to you, maybe she was using, like, you got mad at. I could see it a little bit and you didn't. And James admit, I couldn't see things. He not thinking about it in hindsight. It was clear as day that she was back using. Yes, it was fucking clear as day. She looked completely different. She looked like she was not a crackhead. Well, no, a crackhead. She looked like she was on drugs. So, and he was saying, I don't know how she can be clean for so long, get out of prison with a support system. She had her parents, she had me, I was a loving man, she had somewhere to live and everything. And for her to basically just piss it all away. He said, but I get it's not as easy as I think it is because it's an addiction. I mean, if you say so, I still think, if you have been clean that long, you know what it's like to be sober. So why go back to being dirty and doing drugs? I don't get it. We then see how it's 3 months later. So she went to rehab for like 3 months. It's 3 months later. They back together. They living together in the same house, eating some goddamn, I think it was some pizza, chilling out. She was saying, now look, she looked better, but she still looked different. Different as in, I'm not really sure how clean she is. Maybe she's smoking something besides heroin and meth. Maybe she's smoking a little bit of weed. I don't know. But she looked different to me. And I'm like, she don't look fully clean to me, in my personal opinion, but she looked better than she used to. I think it might have been the makeup, or it could have been that she was aware that she couldn't look like she be getting high. But I'm like, it was something. And James said how we've been through a lot this whole time, but we're still together. It's hard. We have our ups and downs, but it is what it is. And then her saying I don't know why I relapsed. I was under so much stress and I fell back to bad habits. And with them bad habits, I ended up going, getting back high. I went to treatment. I'm still in treatment. It's an ongoing process. And, we're just happy. And I'm like, okay. So he then says, too, that they're not going to get married right now. They put the marriage thing on hold, but they're still together. It was all kissing and hugging and being all happy. Honey, then it goes off and it says for them 6 weeks after filming Wrapped that she got locked up for violating her parole, so she waited to be sentenced. So all my thing is that she violated her parole. I really wonder, what did she do? Like, was she still getting high? Was she not passing drugs? Because they didn't say how she violated it or what happened. Just that she violated and that she was waiting for sentencing. And I'm like, that's crazy. You were out. You were completely out, girl. What is wrong with you? And she's still young too, so maybe she's just doing things that's young and dumb or whatever. But then it also said that James plans to wait with her and be by her side throughout the whole ordeal. I'm like, James' crazy eyes told me he was a little bit crazy. I don't know if he got a thyroid problem. I don't know if he, I don't know what's going on with him, but them eyes, he has crazy eyes, and I don't trust it. And I think that's the whole reason he was her, because he like, who gonna put up with my crazy eyes? No one but a person that's in prison. But anyway, Mary and Dominic, I did not think Mary and Dominic would work out simply because Dominic does seem like a zombie who just came out of zombie land, and he just trying to make sure he's still human and he don't know yet. He like, I have to wait till I'm fully out of this matrix ass zombie world to be sure if I'm human. He just seemed different, and I get it's because he's been in prison for 6 years, but at the same time, I feel like it's just something about it. So, they're basically getting ready to get married. Literally. They're going on like a boat. It's going to be just the two of them. They're going to have a quick little ceremony so they can get married. Because, he's saying this because, she stayed with me through prison. She stayed with me for 6 years. The least I can do is marry her. When anyone says the least I can do is marry you, don't marry that person. Don't do me no goddamn favors. If you don't want to marry me to be with me forever, don't marry me just because I stuck by you through something tough. If you don't love me, if you don't marry me because you can't picture your life without me, don't marry me. Okay, I'm saying don't. I'm like, what? I'm sorry. I drank too much water. She stood by me for 6 years. So I might as well give her what she want. That's the least I can do. I was like, I ain't that about a bitch. So, she just happy to be getting married, basically. Because she's like, I'm just so happy to be marrying him. It's so beautiful. And she then says, but on the way to the little boat thing, she do say, like, he's different since he got out of prison. He isn't affectionate at all. He isn't affectionate how he was before. And, maybe he's only marrying me to make me happy. But when she said he's never affectionate anymore, I said, I wonder if he was raped in prison. Because, and look, y'all, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm serious, though. Think about any man who went to prison and got out. When he out, he all over you. I can speak from experience. I told y'all I dated a guy who was in jail, and when he got out, it was on and popping. I have friends who have dated people in jail, and it's on and popping. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even, I've never met a person who went to jail and came home and they want to be all over their girl. Never. Or vice versa. So when she said he isn't affectionate, I'm like, maybe he was raped in prison and he don't feel comfortable yet. He don't feel comfortable yet being affectionate, because maybe somebody forced him in prison to be affectionate and he ain't over it yet. That's just my point of view. I don't know. So they go on this boat or whatever, and at first he kept on saying how he was nervous. He don't know. I know what I should do. But they still got married. Said whatever little vow. They had a little dog there and everything. And I'm like, okay, they're married. So they got married and they walked off together hand in hand. And he said he's happy now. He said, I'm happy to have her as my wife. It's a good thing for me to think that when I'm done with all this, I can go home to a wife and she's going to be in my corner and I love her. That's what you should have said in the beginning part. You should have said that first. All that I'm marrying her because she stood by me and I can get this, the least I can do. That's like saying, well, you know what I'm saying? You watch my kids, the least I can do is suck your dick. What? No, it's not how it goes, bruh. So it's just a lot to think about. I'm like, whatever. But, they then at the end of his say, he'll be released from his halfway house in like a month and he's going to move in with her. Well, I hope so, because they're married. And, he actually works as an iron worker. So it's a good thing that he was able to get out of jail, go to his halfway house, complete the halfway house situation, get a job, and, get married. So it's a thing where they were dating before he went to prison. Granted, it was only 30 days that they dated before he went to prison. I mean, if they like it, I love it. It is what it is. Garrett and Joanna. I still think Garrett is cute, and I think he's really cute, and I want him to shave his beard down a little bit because he's getting a little bit too manly. No, not too manly, too like mountain man-ish. I want him to cut down a little bit or whatever, and we're finding out that they have decided to elope. And I'm like, but last episode, you said that you didn't want to elope. So what y'all eloping for now? So they're going to elope. And, it's like, oh my God, it's their wedding day. He's been out of jail for, I think they said 8 weeks. So he had been out for 8 weeks and they're getting married. I'm like, and she did not know this man before he went to jail. It's just so weird. She was saying how she did not expect to get married this fast, and they're eloping because her dad doesn't want her to get married. So she's like, well, we might as well just elope. But when she said, like, I don't think we should get married this fast, but you kept forcing him to basically propose to you. You kept saying, I want a ring. You should propose to me. Da, da, da. My thing is, who forces someone to propose to them and then get mad that they want to get married too? But the point of getting engaged is to get married. If you rush the engagement, you might as well rush the fucking wedding. What does it matter? So, and it was because she wanted this. So it's weird to see her be, oh my God, I'm so nervous. You know, no one's here for this wedding. It's just me and him. She had a friend doing her hair, and she's like, oh my God, I can't think about it. My dad isn't here. No one's here. My friends isn't here. No one is supporting us, you know, but he wants to have an elopement or whatever. He wants us to hurry up and get married. And, you know, I'm doing this for him, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, but you rushed him to propose to you. So what? Y'all both kind of did the same thing to each other, just in opposite directions or whatever. You know, Garrett is saying how he felt like them eloping would prove to her father that they really should be together and that he really loves her. Marrying someone to prove to someone else that you to prove to other people that you love somebody, I don't think that's it, because you not marrying them because you really want to be with them forever. I don't believe they want to be together forever. I believe Garrett was a cutie. Joanna saw him on a little website. She said, hey, what's up? Let's see what we can do. And then he got out. They had a little bit of sex. And then that was it. And, you know, but if she like it, I love it. So, you know, her sound like I'm giving up so much to be with him. You know, I was waited, was it 4 years, 6 years? I think it was 6. It was 4 years, I think maybe 4 or 5 years to be with him. And now I'm having to give up. You know, I can't have a bridal shower. I can't have a bachelorette party. You know, my dad isn't giving me away. You know, when. But I'm like, your dad kept telling you what he didn't want. And you kept saying, I'm going to be with him regardless. So my thing is, either way it went, you knew what your dad didn't want. You did it anyway. So now you all thinking about it. Maybe I shouldn't move too fast. Maybe I should slow down. That's what everyone kept saying. Like, if you want to date him, be with him, whatever. You kept pressing that y'all should get engaged. And now he pressing that y'all should get married. That's what happens. So, they go on like a beach to get married. And she got dressed like in the bathroom of some restaurant. And like, you know, it wasn't like a clean, beautiful, luxurious bathroom. It was like a beachy type of bathroom. And she's in how, I don't know about this. I just didn't think my wedding would be like this. You know, I feel like he's rushing me. I feel like he's being very unfair. I feel like he's being very selfish. And, you know, I feel like he's forcing me to elope to make him happy, and that's not fair. But, bitch, you forced him to propose, bitch. It's like, what is wrong with people? You put yourself in this situation, Joanna. You made them propose to you. You kept saying but you kept saying even in the beginning episodes, a person who got out of prison, if they get married within the first 60 days, they're liable to stay out of prison. Well, he been out 8 weeks. That's 2 months. You running up on a little 60-day mark. So my thing is, you spoke this into existence. You said that you wanted to be married within 2 months. You said all of this, and now it's happening. And the things we've been saying to you, now you think, well, maybe that was right, and I was wrong. Well, yes, you were wrong. So, you know, she's in her little dress or whatever. She walked down the aisle. No one walked. She just walked down there by herself, and she's crying. Please don't make me do this. Please don't force me to do this. And he like, what's wrong? What are you talking about? I don't want to elope. I want to have a real wedding. I still love you. I still want to be with you. I still want to marry you, but I don't want to do it this way. I want my father to give me away. I want to have a big wedding. I want to have a big dress. I want to have da-da-da-da-da-da. And he like, oh, well, what does that mean? You know, what does that put us? We're still together. We're not breaking up. I just don't want to do this. Like, I don't want, we can still leave me together. And he was like, well, oh, okay. And they hug and kiss and leave. And I'm like, so we waited this whole season. It was only 7 episodes. And you kept pressuring him to propose to you. You kept pressuring him to be with you. You kept pressuring him to want to take you serious and do whatever. He then does that, proposes to you, and wants to get married. And then all of a sudden, hold up. Maybe not. And you know what I get from that? I get what her daddy said. Her daddy said she likes to rush things. And she rushes and rushes and rushes it. And then when she's tired of rushing whatever it is, or when it isn't what she wants, she changes her mind. And he said, I'm not going to be walking you down the aisle every 2 years. I was looking like her daddy was right. Because when it pulls up to say what happened later, It says, one month after filming ended, they broke up and went their separate ways. So had she got married, her father would have then walked her down the aisle and would have had to do the shit again when she meet the next convict or she want to date. Girl, Joanna, somebody riding Garrett right now, and he ain't got to worry about her texting him, and he ain't got to worry about a whole bunch of stuff. I want to know where he at. Like, I want to find him on Instagram and see what he got going. I don't know his last name, so I can't. But it is what it is. But I was going to be petty and look it up. But, it is what it is. But I think it's funny that the same thing that her dad told her, like, you rushing it, just don't do it. I feel like maybe if she would not have rushed him to propose and rushed him to get married, they could have maybe been together. But who to say if he wasn't out here fucking other girls and doing something, and that's why they broke up, and they didn't just break up for nothing. So, who knows what it is. Lastly but not least, Andrea and Lamar. Lamar has been out of prison for 16 days. 16 days. Not 30 days, not 2 months, not 6 months, 16 days. That is 2 weeks and 2 days. No. Yeah, 2 weeks and 2 days. 14 and 2. Yep, 6. I think about the math. Oh, Jesus. She got her 3 kids in another state with this convict man who served 18 years in prison for robbery. She has her 3 children in a different state to be with this man, to hang out with this man. I'm looking like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So, they in the car going to the beach, and Lamar like, it feels so good to have my family, to have my kids. I said, you do know them ain't your kids. You do know I'm a firm believer in, family is built by time, by you get to know a person. You can't be my family because you and my mama been talking as pen pals for 6 years. You know what I'm saying? You ain't been around me enough to say I'm your family. I don't think blood make you family. I don't think, we have this automatic bond. No, I think you have to really work up to a person to really be your family. And I'm not saying that he can't accept them and want them to be his family, but I'm like, hold on, bro, you've been out for 16 days. 16 days, bro. But it is what it is. That ain't your goddamn family. He then was saying how he has a secret that he needs to tell Andrea that she does not know, and he's very nervous to tell her. We come to find out that he can't leave LA, not for a month, not for a couple months, for a couple of years. He's saying how his parole officer will not allow him to leave LA. He has to stay in California the whole time he's on parole, so he can't move to Utah to marry this woman at all. And she don't know it yet. So, they get to the beach or whatever. No, in the car, even that man, look, her kids is just hilariously funny. Her daughter was asking him, 1, if he got shanked in prison, or 2, if he ever dropped the soap. I'm like, you want to know that he get stabbed and he get ass raped? Look, I chuckled so goddamn hard when he said that. Have you ever dropped the soap? He didn't answer that question, but he did say that he got shot in prison. I'm like, they shoot people in prison? He said cops shot him because it was a riot, and he shot, I don't think it was like a bullet or whatever. He shot him with something, but it is whatever. We have Andrea saying, the kids and him is not bonding all the way, but I need them to get on board because, this is their new father. This is the new parent. And once we married, we a family. Andrea is rushing these kids to bond with this man. You took 6 years. You had 6 years to bond with this man, and you want them to bond with him in 16 goddamn days? Girl, the fuck bye. We then see, Lamar tell Andrea about it, let her know, like, look, they're on the beach chilling or whatever, and he say, look, I can't move into Utah. I really can't move within a couple months. Not only that, I can't move for a couple years. So, I can't move out there. And he said, so if you want to be a family, I'm going to need you to move to LA. And she was like, what? What you mean? He said the whole, my probation officer want to do A, B, and C. I can't leave. So if you want this family, you're going to have to move to California. And I would have been like, bitch, what? Look, the fact that she's entertaining the idea is aggravating, because you want your children to uproot their lives from Utah to LA because the man you met in prison who did 18 years, who you've been dating for 6 years, who you had your 5-year-old daughter calling him daddy and papa, you want to move them and uproot them to a whole new state. I'm just like, I just could not fathom doing that to my family based on a man I don't know. I would not do it. I feel like I'd rather be single than take a chance with a convict if I had children. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If she didn't have children and she did all this, I'd be like, girl, do whatever you want to do. But you putting children into this and you tracking them across the state lines. I'm like, that's where I'm like, you don't need to be making certain decisions. But again, that's her life. It is what it is. And, at first when she said it and when he said it, you would need to move to LA. I can't do that to my kids. The youngest kid is in whatever dance school. The oldest kid is in some dance school. The oldest boy is like starting high school, have his friends or whatever. And she said, I can't do this to my kids. I'm a horrible mother. A little bit, because you're exposing your children to the stranger and you didn't have to. Why couldn't you find a stranger in Utah? Ain't there prisons in Utah? Why not keep people in Utah? You had to find a man in California? Girl, bye. So I said, when she was acting like, oh my God, I can't do this, I can't move, no, I'm not going to do it. I said, she going to do it. She going to do it and she going to look dumb when she do it, because people going to still say, why would you do that? You don't know that man. But it's her life, as I said. So the next thing that we see is him saying, well, if you going to think about it, she took a short walk on the beach. I mean, she didn't even go. It wasn't even a 5-minute walk as far as I'm concerned. And she come back and say, you know what? The only way I move here to LA is if before I move, you marry me. If you marry me before I move, make me an honest woman, me and the kids will move to LA. Now, I respect her for saying, okay, marry me. I can respect her for saying that. So if you want me to commit to come out here, I need you to commit to me to be your wife. Okay, I'll give her that. I'll give her 2 points for that. However, I still feel like he only been out of prison for 16 days, boo-boo. I don't know what to do. I felt like she was stupid. I really honestly did. She don't know that man. And I'm just like, I don't know. And she said, because I'm happy he doing this because I deserve to be an honest woman. What she meant was she been fucking that man and she don't feel honest because she been fucking that man, sucking his dick, and she feel like I'm going to hell and I have to marry him now because we've been fornicating. So at least if I fornicate with the man I married, it ain't that bad in God's eyes. Because I'm like, why else you fucking that man? You ain't fooling nobody. So they didn't tell the kids they moving. She said, we gonna move to LA for 2 years. Because I think in her head, she thinking, we only gonna stay here until he can move to Utah when he off parole. But I'm like, girl, once you in LA for 2 years, you ain't gonna go back to Utah at all. And, the daughter like, oh, hell nah. She ain't with it. She's mad. She's upset. And she go back to, like, I'm leaving. She's walking to the car. She's not for it at all. Andrea telling her, you need to be a daughter and be supportive. Bitch, no, she don't. She's a kid. She's 12. She is 12 years old. Her mama didn't introduce her to a goddamn stranger. She didn't drove her to goddamn California. And now she's saying, not only did I drive y'all to California at 3 o'clock in the morning, we're going to move to California for a couple years for this man that I met in prison. That girl is 12 years old. She had every right to be upset. She's a fucking kid, and you really is uprooting her life. And she wasn't rude when she got up and walked away. She just said, I don't want to talk. I don't want to move to California. I don't want to do that. My friends is in Utah. I don't want to go nowhere, And they kind of all go to the car. And what I did not like, because Lamar then said to her, I'm the best thing that ever happened to you. No, you don't know that. You don't know that. And them older 2 kids had their own daddy. So my thing is, we don't know if the 2 older kids' daddy is in their life. All Andrea said was the youngest girl don't know her father. So I'm thinking maybe the older 2 kids' daddy participate in whatever way he sees fit, and maybe the youngest one does not. I'm not sure. But I still feel like them kids possibly have a father in their life. And Andrea just wanted a man in her life on the inside of the home. It ain't nothing wrong with that. My thing is, you only been out 16 days, bruh. You ain't even paid the rent for them 1 month. So you ain't the best thing to happen to nobody. You can't even pay your own car note because, again, you have a room in your brother's basement. The fuck. So it's 2 weeks later, and it's the wedding day. Andrea's been a complete bitch to everyone. I don't care about nobody. I don't care about nothing. Even if you died, don't tell me about it. If somebody mama died, don't tell. I don't care about nothing. It's my wedding day. I'm not listening to no bullshit. She's a complete bridezilla. She's a complete bridezilla. You know, she finds out that her shoe designer is not going to be able to deliver her shoes on time for her wedding, and she's pissed off, and she's yelling and cussing and fussing. Now I can't do this, and if I don't get my shoes, I ain't getting married. I don't have no backup shoes. These shoes were so pretty, they were so cute, and they cost like $3,000, and I found a designer who can do them for me for less of a third than that, and I ain't getting married without them. She was with her one little friend, the black lady from Utah, whatever, because people them flew in for this wedding, and they all at his brother D-Lo house, getting ready for this wedding. That's gonna be at the house too, and you know, it's weird because do I want to go through all this? I will. Okay, they at the wedding. And it was a cute little scene where her son, they were all getting dressed, like all the guys was getting dressed or whatever. And her son saw that Lamar didn't know how to put on a tie. And he went and helped Lamar put his tie on. I'm looking like, okay, that was a really cool moment. You know, Lamar then said, you know, he's accepted me in as his father figure. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? That's my son. I love it. Look, at this point, it's been a month. Okay, because it was 16 days before. Now we got 14 more days. Now we had 30 days. Okay, we had 30 days and they get married. Okay, cool. But it was a cooler thing to see the son accept him and want to help him and be cool and chit chat and talk with him or whatever. It was what it was. We see a little scene of him talking to the daughter, the 12-year-old daughter. And, you know, she looked pretty in her little wedding dress or whatever. And he said, you know what, I love you. He hugged her and gave her a kiss on the forehead. I'm still not okay with him hugging her and kissing her on the cheek. I know that's like, oh, that's normal. I don't think y'all there yet. It's been 30 days. Kiss me in 2 years. Don't kiss on me right now. Leave me the fuck alone. So we see her racist ass friend AJ is there saying, you know, I haven't met Lamar, but I saw a whole bunch of black guys. I'm pretty sure he's one of them, and they're smoking weed, so I just assume, you know, they're all together. Bitch, what? Then later on, she said, you know, I know my husband's gonna never trust me to bring him to a black wedding because they act different and, you know, they're always late. Bitch, what? Look, AJ is racist. I don't care what anybody says. She's racist. She's bigoted. And I think she don't even realize she's doing it. I think it's I don't know what it is, but I don't like her, and it is what it is. So Andrea literally held the wedding up for her goddamn shoes. She made them. She was 3 hours late for her own wedding, and she was upstairs. She wasn't even at a different venue. 3 hours she waited for this lady to bring these shoes. These shoes come in, and I thought they were gonna be some gorgeous somethings. These was some goddamn plastic platform, fake studded bullshit that she could have gotten paid less. I'm like, you waited 3 hours for that little cheap piece of shit? Them shoes did not look worth the wait, okay, at all. And I was like, girl, you stupid. And I don't think that was worth the little $3,000. It was around like $1,000 she paid for them shoes. I did not think it was worth it. They were cute-ish, but I'm like, girl, bye. So, you know, he trying to come, like, where you at? We waiting on this time. So a couple times he went looking for her, like hour 1 he went looking for her. Hour 2 he went looking for her. At hour 3 he went looking for her. Half the guests left. Everybody pissed off because she's taking my goddamn day. And she said, it's my day. I'm the bride. They should wait for me. Not 3 hours, bitch. I would have, not only would I left, I would have took my goddamn gift, a plate, and a bottle of wine and said deuces. So, you know, they finally come down. She finally has her shoes. She finally, you know, walk down the aisle. They finally get married. I am a firm believer that he was drunk a little bit because he seemed a little bit tipsy. I don't mean like, you know, slosh drunk and, you know, falling over drunk, but he was, you know, he had some liquor in him. And, you know, they get married or whatever. And that was it. She got him a cake. The cake was blue, she said, because he's a Crip. Girl, bye. And then the ending scene is them saying that, you know, they all live together in California and that he works in the airline industry and he's working on his music career. So she literally met a man in prison who did 18 years, dated him for 6 years while he was in prison, got out, got married, and moved to California with her 3 children. Love After Lockup was the best piece of ratchet ass reality train wreck that I've ever seen. I cannot wait till season 2. I'm telling you right now, I cannot wait till season 2. But, that was my whole review. I did not mean it to be this long with the TV show. I think it was an hour and a half long today, so it took a little bit extra time. So, yeah, other than that, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.